Who's starting? Well, we're in Nottingham, so this is your territory.
Hi everyone and welcome to sunny Nottingham today. I've got Suzi here from Ireland and we are joining together on a collaborative effort this month at the end of this month. So I'll hand it over to Suzi and tell us a little bit more about what we're doing in Ireland.
Well, I'm so excited to be here, Arti. I love being in Nottingham. I love the connection here. But I'm even more excited to take Arti across the water to Ireland, and we're going to be set up in West Cork. It's a really sacred, favourite place of mine, immersed in nature, you know, right in the harbour, in a beautiful, secluded, private residence. And we have a very special retreat planned for September. And, you know, why did we choose September, Arti? What's the significance?
So the dates are 23rd to the 26th, just straight after the equinox. And the equinox is a good time. It's a shift when the nature is actually supporting us to unveil the sort of the dredge of the season. And the summer has been heating. We have accumulated a lot of heating structures within our body. So it's a time to release those. An equinox is a wonderful catalyst to facilitate this process. So we chose the end of September to align in with that.
And what's lovely about this retreat is you start preparing for the retreat before you even arrive in Ireland. So Arti and her team at Samsara Wellness have created 7 days of pre-retreat guidelines, you know, to prepare your body for what will be a very beautiful, gentle cleanse. And do you want to talk a bit more about the cleanse, Arti?
Yes, so when the nice thing right now that we have is that liver cleanses are a kind of a common occurrence. We never ever thought about a liver cleanse. If we went back even 15-20 years ago, it wasn't that commonplace. So it's lovely to see this organ being given its due respect, given that it is, in the Ayurvedic terminology, it's considered to be the sort of the seat of the main aspect of your universe inside, and that's the Jupiter of your universe in there. And it's also the only organ in the body which has the facility to regenerate, unlike any other organ. So it's a good organ to work with, and we know that there's so many transactions happening through there. So when we were planning this retreat with Suzi, we were considering how people would walk in to this place and get into it. And somewhere it didn't feel right to nurture this detox in this very sudden event, given that we have the precipice of the equinox with us. So the plan is that we allow your body to be sensitized. So 7 days of sensitization. So what you start doing is unveiling your process already, and you're ready for what's to come. And in that, what happens is when you arrive, you're already in the detox. The detox is already happening. We are not making it happen. So it felt right for both of us. And the nature of a liver detox is that we are going to be unveiling so many emotions, so many aspects of what's within you, which has been sitting for a long time. This is an organ which is a transaction for not just glucose metabolism as we know it in the West, but it's a place where so many enzymes are created. You have emotional processes passaging through it. You have digestion and metabolism, the seat of it here. And we all know, with all the innumerable problems people have, whether it's inflammatory conditions or digestive disorders or pent-up anger which is sitting inside your body, which is giving you hypertension perhaps. And when you look at these kind of things which are not treated properly, what we are doing through this retreat is taking it as a stage-wise process. And the nice thing about doing the 7 days before at home is that you climatize to this in your own space.
Yes. And the great thing too is you know, once we go through which we'll go into in more detail, but just to make the point now, at the end of the 3 days together in Ireland, you leave with the tools and, you know, the guidelines to continue the other side of the process. So there's a very supportive environment for this unfolding within yourself. And it's an opportunity too, I think, for people to really take responsibility, to start making those choices. So you start to simplify the diet, you start to kind of, you know, clean things up a little bit in your larder at home, and you start to have all of the right ingredients to hand to continue the process through. And I think when you have that cleansing experience, you never want to kind of sully it, well, for a long time after you're really feeling and reaping the benefits of it, because the benefits are immediate, really. It's amazing as soon as you make that choice and you move into that state in that supportive environment. So the other thing that I'm excited about inviting you all to come to Ireland with us is it's basic stuff that you will be able to get at home yourself. It's local produce, you know, it's seasonal produce, and it's prepared in a very simple manner. So, you know, there's no sort of hidden, you know, ingredients. And we'll just allow that helicopter to go by now. Rather than try to compete with it. But there's a joy in being in tune with what's available, you know, in your locality that's in season, and that you can use all of those things then available to you to, you know, support your liver and your, you know, all of the systems in your body. The other aspect, I think, of the retreat in Ireland is within the environment, you know, which is really, it's a beautiful natural location. You have the benefits then of the elements, you know, the 5 elements: the water, the air, the space, the earth, and the, I've left one out. Fire, thank
which
you.
we will create
Yes.
every day.
Yeah, so maybe let's talk about the fire element, because I think that's very relevant for the liver.
Yes, because fire, from an Ayurvedic perspective, is connected. The seat of the liver is fire. It's pitta. So we will be working with, and what does it mean when we say pitta, agni? We use these words. It really looks at what it looks like in terms of metabolic enzymes, and we have these inside our. So the actual diet that we're going to be giving you is actually cooling the pitta down, so that the liver can start almost resuscitating and do its work that it's designed to do. So there's a cellular memory that each and every organ has, and when you provide the right environment, what it does, it restarts. And this is what we're hoping to do with, and not hoping, actually we will do with all your livers. And so the actual event, and then once you go away, when you look at the essence of Ayurveda, which is what we're following, it sounds like its own version of a panchakarma. We won't call it a panchakarma, but it is, because we're prepping you to sensitize the body. There is a main part of it which will happen with us, because we need to create, like Suzi said, there's an environment that we're going to give you. So you come in and you release everything of what you are, and you just be present and be nourished and nurtured by our team, and to be told when to get up, when to eat, what to eat, how to, you know, meditate, all of this. So the elements are kind of an amalgamation of many systems. So we have Ayurveda, yoga, meditation, sound, all the harmonics of all of this is being carefully curated so that you can have the right ambience to really intensify this 3-day period. And from an Ayurvedic perspective, it's like a karma. So we're giving, a karma is an action, a major action that we give. And of course, we will support you once you leave.
Exactly. Like from my background, you know, I'm an educator at heart, trained with Dr. Deepak Chopra, and I think that was one of the key things for me, was to learn how to help myself. And then when I'm doing that for myself, I can in turn do it for my family, my friends, loved ones. So there's a deep learning through experience. It's not just something I read in a book or an article I've come across. This is a lived experience which really informs, and then we have the guidelines and the information that will kind of back up the experience that you will have firsthand. And I think you create this memory then of wholeness in the body that you want to return to again and again.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
so Arti, I know Arti doesn't travel light, and we were talking about what she's going to bring with her to Ireland. And so what other modalities can we expect at the retreat?
So I think fire will be very significant. There'll be a fire process which will happen every day. And I always feel that when we have a fire element present, the aspect of, and I think this has come for me from understanding a lot of native cultures, but also Indic cultures, where we use it as a means of reflecting, as a means of opening our hearts to the process of transformation. So you will see a fire ceremony. Sound will be going through all the way through the day. We have instruments here with me. I carry normally singing bowls, gongs, which will be hopefully present because I can't carry my gong with me. Drums will be with me, all kinds of lots of sound instruments, tuning forks, and various things. And we add that in during the processes. And you'll find that each and every segment of the day, whether we're doing the morning yogic practices or an afternoon walking meditation, everything will be a ritual. So you will have sound, you will be chanting, you will have powders applied on your body, you will have maybe on some days mud applied on your body, you might have certain types of colors we will ask you to wear, and various things, because these are very important to create that ambience. We are the living temple and we need to be treated like one. And now for this 3 days we're going to be nourishing one of the elements of our living temple, which is the liver, and it's the Jupiter. The seat of liver is Jupiter. So that's what we're going to awaken.
And what I also love is, there's this discovery. So it's like, entering into this like unknown, as Arti enters in and brings with her, this array of sound and, different forms of stimulation, you access then all 5 portals. And so as much as most people would associate a cleansing, detoxifying retreat with, what goes into the mouth for the body, there's the other 4 portals, which are the eyes, the nose, the ears, and that sense of touch. And I think that's where the real adventure begins, when we explore those other 4 portals. And then this whole concept of detox becomes a much broader and more expansive experience.
And I think you're right in saying that, because we are sensory beings. We have sensations, and it's not enough to just give you food. We could give you food for 3 days and say you're going to starve or you're going to be on this diet. This is not a diet program. We don't do diets. What we're doing is we're getting you in touch with who you are as an individual. We're getting to get you to understand what this organ actually means. You sleep at a particular time. Why? Because you allow the liver to do its work without disrupting it. We will have you all in bed by about 9:30, 10. And the foundation of sleep, the foundation of this drum, the bowl, what is it doing? It's stimulating activities inside your meridians. It's stimulating activities inside your organic matter. And when you want to move people fast, you use this. Now we have a drum here which is being crafted in a particular way. Some of you may have seen shamanic drums. Everything about this drum is organic. This is from a reindeer. I'm not for animals being killed, but this is from a reindeer who died naturally, and the skin was saved for this purpose. Now imagine we are merging. Here we are, we're going through a detox. we have something of another element of nature supporting movement. We have a bowl here which is resonating a sound. The frequency of that is F sharp, and it's made up of Andara crystals. So these Andara crystals, which are not of this planet, but they were found in fragments in Mount Shasta. They've been put together, and this is the bowl that's been created. So even every instrument, even rituals, when you see the rituals, when you have the powders and when you have things applied on your body, it'll be organic. It'll be facilitating this process, because we only have 3 days with you, and we have lifetimes of trauma, memories, imbalances, bodily functions to deal with, inflammatory processes. And the point is, it's not a challenge. It's just about how to infuse a collection of things, putting it together. This is alchemy. That's what we're going to be doing. It's alchemy. And it's taking the sciences, like Suzi said, it's taking the sciences of Ayurveda, for example, and making it a lived experience. How do we bring it into our day-to-day life? We'll teach you how to chant some basic things. You'll go away and you'll find yourself humming these things one day randomly.
True.
And that's because your body needs it then. That's the point, the memory.
Yeah. The key thing about coming to Ireland is, don't be worried that you don't know what, that it's over your head or it's beyond you. It's not at all. I personally have a commitment about being lighthearted and loving and kind. I love to see the lighter side of life. We're not all about perfection and getting it all right. We're stumbling through it happily, together. But it really is about coming, with an openness, an open mind, an open heart, and a kind of a childlike curiosity to just see how, all of these combined elements and experiences can really, really lead to your transformation during that season change, and as we're coming through the end of that equinox period.
We're also sitting in a very interesting shift from that, because we're all going to enter, just as we finish the retreat, we're going to walk into a 2-week period of what we call, in the tradition of the Indic culture, it's a 2-week period where basically the energies of all our ancestors become vibrant around us. And it's the 2-week period where all our loved ones and ancestors and whoever's passed away in our lives, we acknowledge their spirit and we allow them to be freed. So in a sense, when you address a detox and you unwind out of this heaviness out in your system, whether it's inflammation or hypertension or it's emotions, whatever it is for you, what this period will do is it'll discharge that. It'll keep a sense of openness for this 2 weeks that's about to come. And you can say goodbye to a lot of memories you're carrying. And often it's grief that is known, or it's a memory of an ancestral lineage, or it's a trauma. And it's wonderful to go into it with this sort of openness within yourself. So we're very fortunate that we've chosen, well, we haven't chosen, it just happened.
Exactly.
It just happened, and everything has
True.
come together. So it's about listening to the synchronicity of this and saying that we want to create an environment where medicine meets nature, meets alchemy, meets elements, and in it we're all going to swim together and transform and come away with some beautiful tools to continue transforming.
Absolutely. So I invite you now to take a moment and feel in and connect with your own heart and your inner guidance, your inner compass, your intuition, and just ask yourself, is this for me? Do I feel this kind of nudge or this leaning towards you know, even if there's a little bit of trepidation towards saying yes and joining us. And we'd love to welcome you with our open arms and our hearts to a spectacular location in Ireland for a very, very, very transformational, gentle detox retreat.
And allow this wonderful womb of Ireland to receive us so that we can transform and rebirth ourselves through it. So please, with open hearts, come in and join us and flow through this process and teach us something through your own transformations.